My favorite theme park is Six Flags Fiesta, Texas in San Antonio, Texas. This park has an amazing collection of 11 coasters, soon to be 12 after Werewolf Gorge opens up in 2027, but right now they have 11. I visited this park for the first time in January of this year and walked away insanely impressed. This park really delivers. So in today's video, I will be ranking all 11 coasters from worst to best. Quick thing before we start, I just want to ask you guys to consider subscribing and turning on notifications to not miss uploads like this in the future if you're interested. So let's get into this. At number 11, we have Boomerang. This is your standard boomerang model by Vekoma, and if you've been watching this channel for long, you know I'm not a huge fan of this ride model, but the fact that it does have the new vest restraints really helps this with not getting headbanging. This is a middle-of-the-pack boomerang for me. It's better than Flashback at Six Flags New England, but worse than Boomerang at Discovery Kingdom. Number 10 is Batgirl Coaster Chase. This is a very simple Vekoma Junior coaster. It just goes out, turns around, hits a few tiny hills, then turns back into the station. It is pretty smooth, and this is nothing special, just a ride that fills the kids' coaster gap in this park. Coming in at the 9 spot, we have Batman, the SNS Car Wreck Simulator. Fun fact, this was actually the first ever of this model that was built, and I think this is where the model name comes from. It is not a good time. The queue line is pretty decently themed with the Batmobile, and that is pretty much the only good thing about this ride. Number 8, Pandemonium. This is your average Pandemonium clone that you can find at more than half of the parks in the Six Flags chain. It is a family spinning coaster built by Gerstlauer out of Germany. It is a fun coaster that is good for little kids trying to ride their first coaster. The only downside is that the restraints aren't great. They have a hard and restrictive shin bar that bruises your shins, and it makes this ride a tad uncomfortable. So before I'm going to move on to number 7, I'm just going to tell you that was the bad part. Now it's time for the awesome part. Coming in at number 7 is Chupacabra, the Batman clone. This ride was actually relocated from Six Flags New Orleans after it got destroyed by Hurricane Katrina in 2005. This was one of the few coasters that was actually in good enough condition to relocate to another park in the chain. So it got relocated here and reopened as Goliath in 2007. Then it got renamed to Chupacabra in 2021. So chances are that if you've been to a Six Flags park, you've ridden this exact same coaster as a different name, which is probably Batman. These coasters were cloned all over during the 90s for good reason. These coasters are very fun rides. Educational segment over. So this is actually my second favorite B&M invert behind Flight Deck at California's Great America. It is a fun, smooth, and intense ride, but it only ranks number 7. Number 6, however, I think is the best air mine train ever built. Roadrunner Express is really intense, it's fun, and it has some of that nice old school era charm, but not too much of it. It has 2 lift hills, 2 big drops, and a huge elevated helix. It has a small rattle at the bottom of the first valley that will only give you a headache if you ride it 10 or 15 times in a row at 10 p.m. like I did. Anyways, this is the best family coaster in the park until Werewolf Gorge opens, and this is one of my favorite family coasters. Number 5, Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger. Aside from the best Six Flags theming you'll ever see, this ride doesn't really do anything for me. Its first drop is fun, but the vest restraints kill any possible airtime. The name sucks, and the inversions are flowy, but they're very forceless. And the second half just straight out meanders. Before the Cliffhanger fanboys get mad at me, this ride is fun, and like I said before, the theming is immaculate. Number 4, Poltergeist. This premier spaghetti bowl coaster is surprisingly intense and forceful. It gets really whippy towards the bottom of the structure and also has a great launch. Like any good coaster, it's also super smooth. This recently got a major glow up and the station looks pretty fire now. The queue line also looks like it is straight out of the Universal playbook. I'd say it is a major upgrade over this. Number 3 is Superman's Krypton Coaster, the best flowless coaster in the world. It rises up 180 feet and goes through 6 inversions while also simultaneously interacting with the quarry wall, which is pretty cool. This is a relatively smooth ride. It only has a small rattle. The inversions are good, especially the 0G roll and the interlocking corkscrews. You also get good airtime while snapping into the mid-course in the front, and good airtime while exiting the mid-course in the back. This was also my 75th coaster. 2 is Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster, the RMC Raptor. I rode this when the only other RMC Raptor I had ridden was Wonder Woman at Magic Mountain, so I really had never ridden a great single rail coaster. The first time I rode this was in the night, and it should have ripped, but it didn't for some reason. The second time was better, but I still wasn't experiencing how some people apparently have. When I rode it, I thought the pacing was good, but not great. Same with the second time riding around. It wasn't like the universe was sped up or something, but it was like riding a normal coaster. Maybe that has to do with the fact that I came during the middle of winter time. I don't know. When I experienced Railblazer this April, it was running much better. Finally, number 1, which also happens to be my favorite coaster, Iron Rattler. This was RMC's second ever Iron Horse conversion, and it is the best of this coaster type that I have ridden. The first drop is my favorite coaster element. The way you just get insanely strong airtime and insane laterals combined into one. You also go pretty fast, 70 miles an hour. It is the tallest and fastest hybrid I have ridden. It happens to also be RMC's first ever inversion on a hybrid coaster. Besides the first drop, it also has some great elements like the drop off the quarry wall or the wacky Outer Bank hills on top of the quarry. It also has a great sustained ejector moment after the first drop while jumping onto the quarry wall. And the cherry on top, the pacing. While other enthusiasts might not agree with me, I think that this ride has awesome pacing. Even the quarry wall. You ripped through those elements and got great airtime pops. The pacing is definitely an upgrade over the original Rattler. I also don't have a problem with the length. I like short and sweet coasters. If you're interested, I made a whole review for Iron Rattler that I'll link in the description of this video. That will do it for today's video again. If you aren't aware, we're on the road to 175 subscribers and are hoping to reach it by the end of this month. So if you like what you're seeing, I would highly recommend you consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss more videos in the future. Have a good one.